Hey y'all, today I'm sharing my faith journal setup for my Heart of Thanksgiving journal. And I've got organization tips, a quick foldable pocket technique, a trick for distressing your ephemera, and I have a free download for you. And it's all starting right now. Here we go, y'all. Well, hello and welcome to Pink Paper Peppermints. My name is Melissa and I'm so glad you're here. Today I'm setting up my faith journal for the Heart of Thanksgiving event on Instagram, and I am working in this super cute printable traveler's notebook cover from Goosekeeper Designs, and I will link that in the description below. And my insert on the inside is from my Heart of Thanksgiving printable collection, which is also linked below. And I'm just going to run through my setup, and I've got some tips for you, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I've just got my book blank right now, and I've got some page wraps in it. Those are from my Heart of Thanksgiving collection. And page wraps just tuck into your traveler's notebook insert and give you extra space to journal. These are some of my favorite fall paper clips from some of my favorite Etsy shops. Amy at Mommy Muddling, Lisa at Just Stitched, and Tiffany at the Happy Marigold, and those are linked below. And I actually have a lot more fall paper clips. Those are just some of my favorites. And so what I was going to tell you that I have a video to show you how to thread the elastics for those notebooks if that's something that you don't know how to do yet. So this is my little organized tub of goodies here for my Heart of Thanksgiving event, and I've got my favorite chunky glitter from Michaels, some washi, and some ephemera. But the thing that I really wanted to show you were these little envelope pockets that I made to organize my ephemera and my labels and tags from the kit. If you've ordered it, and I know a lot of you have, it's a huge kit. There's over 75 pieces, and so if you just dump them in a box, it becomes really hard to sort through. So I just took some security envelopes, and you could actually just use junk mail for this, and I cut them to size to fit in my container, and you could cut them to fit in whatever container that you're using, and sorted out my ephemera from the leaves, the ephemera, the tags and labels, and the prompts. And I'm actually in the process of still sorting all those pieces out and cutting them all out. But then I just created little labels. I typed them on my typewriter on some ledger paper, and then I stapled them on just like this with my Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher to the envelopes. And it's not a permanent setup or anything. It's just for this challenge, just to keep all of my ephemera and bits and pieces organized as I'm working. And there's some more of my fall paper clips. Those are from Lisa at Just Stitched. So that's kind of my little kit that I have on my desk for working. And I don't know about you, but I find that if I'm a little bit organized like that, I really get a lot more done when I have 5 minutes here or there. So our next thing that we're going to do is I want to show you how to make a little pocket for the inside cover of your traveler's notebook. And I'm using this little card from my ephemera kit. It's 2 squirrels having coffee. And I just think it is like the cutest thing. It's like my favorite. So I'm going to make a double pocket. So I'm going to put the squirrel on the outside of the expandable pocket, the squirrel card, I should say. So this card is 4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. And our traveler's notebook is, the front cover is 4 inches, so it fits just perfectly. Our back pocket that we're going to make, you're going to need a 6x4 piece of paper, and what I used was one of the extra pages from my traveler's notebook insert, but you could use anything for this or any pattern paper that you like. And you're just going to fold it 1 inch in on either side, and I'm going to hold my card up to it here and just make sure that yes, I've gotten it 1 inch on both sides, because I didn't measure, because I really don't like measuring. And then you're going to fold a 1/2 inch back on itself. So you can see that I'm doing that here, and you're creating kind of like a little accordion fold on both sides of the pocket. And that's going to make it expandable. And so once you have that fold done, you're going to fold up the bottom, and I just want to check and see how much room. I want to have about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch above the little squirrel card. So I was just checking to see how far up I want to fold it, and I'm going to fold it up about 1 inch, and then test it with my card and make sure that looks right before I crease it. And then I'm just going to adhere it with some adhesive, and you just want to make sure that you don't get any of that on the pocket part. You want to keep it on those folds. And you can see there's our little expandable pocket, and we're going to attach it here to the front cover. Before I do, I'm going to cut a little thumb notch with a circle punch, and you could just do that with scissors too, or you could just leave that off. And now I'm going to attach the pocket to the front cover, and then I'm going to attach the squirrel card to the pocket. And again, I'm just using that same dot adhesive to do that, and you just want to be super careful that you don't get any adhesive on the inside of your pocket when you're putting that down. And the same thing with your card, whatever card you're using for your front pocket, just make sure you do a very thin line of adhesive on 3 sides and make sure you leave room for whatever you're going to be sliding into that pocket. So there, I've got it on all 3 sides, and I'm attaching it to the pocket now, and then I'm going to slip my prompt cards and some journal cards into those pockets. Now the prompt cards are part of a free starter kit that is in my shop for the Heart of Thanksgiving journaling event. It starts Monday, October 22nd. If you would like to join us, you can jump in anytime. If you're seeing this video after that, just go over to my shop and download that kit. It's got all the directions and the prompts and everything that you need to join us. And so now I just wanted to show you the next thing that I like to do when I'm getting my journal set up is I just grab some scraps and painted papers and just things that I'd like to use in it, and I just add those into the journal, not permanently, but I paper clip them in, or I just tuck them in, don't even paper clip them in, but I just get them in so that when I sit down to work on a page, I don't have to start from scratch. I've already got some pieces to work with, and I might not use these. I might rearrange the order and do something different, but it just helps me to kind of feel like my journal has a good start. And so now I've got just about all my pieces in, and you can see how quickly it looks like a really full junk journal ready to go. So the next thing I like to do is to do a cover page, and I'm using this Heidi Swapp Gold Metallic Color Shine Spray, and instead of spraying it on, I'm just dropping little droplets of the ink on to give it some sparkle and some texture and some background. And it's all dry now. You can see I added a little bit more there. And this is my little stack of cutout ephemera pieces. That pumpkin is from the dollar spot at Target. And this piece of ephemera is actually from my mini junk journal tag kit that you can find in the shop. I'll link that below. And I just wanted a pop of pink at the top of my page, so I'm just cutting out a scrap of this to put at the top there. And I made these little glittery leaves in my last video, and I'll link that above and below for you so you can see how to make those. And I really wanted the leaf to work on this little top piece, but it actually doesn't ever work out. This is a sheet of word art that I've typed on my typewriter, and I just wanted to have some phrases to choose from, so I typed a big sheet of phrases that I wanted to use as we go through this journaling event together. And then I thought, well, if I could scan it, I could give it to my newsletter subscribers. So it actually went out with my newsletter last night, but I'm also going to send it out in the next few newsletters over the course of the weeks as we're working on our Thanksgiving journals. So if you would like to get that download, all you have to do is go to the link in the description below and sign up and become a member of my newsletter, and you will get that too. So I wanted to show you this little trick for roughing up your ephemera or distressing it. When you print ephemera, it doesn't always look as old as you might want it to. So if you just take the edge of your scissors, as you see me doing here, and scrape the edges of the cardstock or the photo paper that you're using, it'll give it a nice roughed up and aged look. So now I'm just playing with my layers and trying to arrange all the pieces in a way that I like, and I've found that the more layers you add, the better. The only problem is I tend to have a hard time covering up the layers, so like I didn't want to cover up that pink turkey and then I didn't want to cover up the number 5, and I was having a hard time kind of going back and forth on that. But I eventually figure it out. So the next thing that I want to do is just lay it next to my cover, since it is going to be facing that marbled cover. I want to make sure that that looks good with it. And then I'm going to take it over to the sewing machine and sew it all up. And so I've done that here. You can see I did a zigzag stitch across the top and the side there. And before I put it back in the book, I just wanted to show you the back of the page. The ink showed through and the stitches show through, and to some people that might look like a mess, but I'm actually really excited that I already have kind of a background going there for that page. So I've got it all in, and I just want to add the date to my pumpkin. I'm using these gold glitter stickers that I've had for a really long time, so I can't tell you for sure where I got them. but you can find gold glitter stickers usually at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And I didn't have a 0, so I had to use the letter O for 2018, but I think it turned out okay. And next week, we are going to be doing the first prompt of our journaling series, and I'll be showing you some tricks and tips for that, and I can't wait to see you then. I hope you'll join us. Thank you so much for being here today. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time here on Pink Paper Peppermints.